Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us here on Encore. Coming up on today's show. A $500 million fortune, death, drugs, guns, and the shattered American dream. That's at the heart of Southern Belle, a gripping new documentary set in Texas. On today's show, we bring you the composer behind the film's score. Maud Geffray is one half of Scratch Massive and a bounding pulse on the underground electro scene with her acclaimed solo debut, Polaar. Maud, thank you very much for joining us here on Encore.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with the soundtrack, which came out this month. Now, Taylor Ranzow is the Southern Belle at the centre of this story in this documentary, who falls out of a $500 million fortune and into a life of family strife, drinks, drugs, the works, you name it. Now, how did you find the music to this story?
The idea first, I went a lot in the editing room, and I really wanted to be the closest possible of the feelings of Taylor and the sadness, anyway, of her life, and the voiceover too, because there's a voiceover during all the documentary, and it was very important for me to listen to this and to support this voiceover.
So her father died when she was 15. He left her
Yeah.
$500 million. Then she was almost, committed. She was sent to a rehab facility, so she lost control of that money,
Yes.
which led to it kind of led her down a dark road. What sounds came out of that for you? Like, what did you envision?
For me, it was really synthesizers, really something deep and calm anyway, because she has something really lucid about her situation.
On that point, Maud, what is the bigger picture that this film is trying to paint and say about the state of America today?
Maybe it's about the portrait of a lost generation, about the youth with, who lives with Donald Trump, actually, and the firearms, and a lot of big problems like medication too. I think in Texas there's nearly no culture of other people and mix, and it's really close and
So we're talking about
locked.
pharmaceuticals, gun control, racism. That all needs
Yes,
reworking, in your
yes.
opinion. All right, well, let's take a look now at a little snippet of the film. This is Southern Belle.
There is no God in this place. Thank you, America. Thank you. And everything else, all of the energy created, this all flows to the rest of the world.
Now, as we've just heard there, Maud, the music in Southern Belle really captures the essence of Taylor and her struggle, but it is still very much you. It's very much your sound. There are similar strokes in your album, Polaar. What's that about?
the similar, you mean?
Similar strokes, the synthesizers.
Yes, because I really like some specific sounds and some synthesizers, so I use my keyboards, and finally I stayed in my sounds because maybe the director Nicola Peduzzi maybe wanted some sounds like I do in other stuff.
Talk to us about Polaar, the album.
Polaar, it's a long story because Polaar, I began the work on Polaar in Finland because it was the beginning of Polaar was for the Louvre, the museum in Paris. They asked me to do a musical movie. So I went in Finland with a director called Jamie Harley, and we stayed there in the winter when it's really dark nearly all the day. And I composed music for this documentary about the really high city of Rovaniemi in the North Finland. And after, when I did this work first, then I rework it for doing an album.
For Polaar. Well, let's get a sense of that now with the clip Ice Teens. Now, Maud, you've been described as a mix of Grimes and Tom York. Have you heard that description of you?
Yes, I like it.
You like it? Yeah. If you could pick your musical godparents, who would they be?
My godparents would be Philip Glass.
Philip Glass,
yes.
And whose mum?
The mum, it's more ABBA.
ABBA. ABBA, well, we're going to talk about ABBA in just a moment. Tell us first, what's next for you, Maud? What's coming up?
What's coming up is...
Some more work with Scratch Massive.
Yes, I will release a new Scratch Massive album in next October. And a lot of different stuff, but this one. Yeah.
And any plans to head back to LA? Because you have been basing yourself between Paris and LA. Any plans to go
I will go soon, maybe in the next months, but I stayed last summer in LA. So
what's the difference between the music scene there and here?
It's totally different. Maybe for so many reasons, like the sun, the way of living there.
So that changes the sound almost?
I think in a way, yes. It's Paris. When you do some sounds, you are often in the dark when you do it, and there there's more space. It's really different. More sun, more space.
Well, now it's time for our music news of the week. And money, money, money may be the crux of Southern Belle, Maud, but it's also a worldwide hit for Swedish pop group ABBA, your adopted godmother. Now, after 9 #1 hits, they've put away their platforms and satin onesies in 1983. Well, now the iconic foursome are set to make a comeback 35 years in the making with an Avatar 2 project and a new song called I Still Have Faith in You. Maud, what's your favorite ABBA song? You're a big fan.
I really like it. Yes, it's maybe Gimme Gimme.
Gimme Gimme Gimme?
Yeah.
Now, you know, ABBA Gold was the first CD that my mother ever bought me. I remember riding my bike back in 1992. I would have been about 7 and just being distraught over the fact they had broken up. Do you remember the moment that they broke up?
I don't remember so much because I discovered...
not broke up, but they stopped recording.
But I discovered really late, so I didn't listen to ABBA when I was young. So
It's true. When they first came up, they were kind of pushed aside as this cheesy group, and it was only later on that they gained this critical success and became massively
with
popular.
Madonna. She made a kind of cover with Jacques Lucon, producer, and they did a track a few years ago with Gimme Gimme.
So I imagine you're happy about this comeback. They've got a lot to live up to, though.
Yeah, sure.
My 7-year-old self is very happy. Well, let's check out some more new music now, this time from English folk singer Frank Turner. Out this week, Be More Kind is the one-time Million Dead frontman's 7th studio album. It's based on a line from Australian author Clive James's poem. It reads, I should have been more kind. It is my fate to find this out, but find it out too late. His latest clip is set in Austin, Texas, where he worked on the album. Frank Turner takes to the streets to ask locals what they think the greatest thing about America is. Take a listen.
So if you'll forgive my accent and the cheek of it, here's some suggestions from the special relationship. Let's make America great again by making racists ashamed again. Let's make compassionate fashion again. Let's make America great again.
The greatest thing about America, some good ideas there. Maud, you're familiar with the States. What's the greatest thing, in your opinion, about America?
Maybe it's New York.
New York.
I really like this city for the mixing people, for the energy. And maybe in LA too for the food in LA, the organic food, and people really shiny in LA.
And what about Paris, France? What's the greatest thing about your home, your hometown and city?
I really like Paris. I feel really in my home here. So the greatest things are the food too, and the culture. I think it's really interesting. A lot of things happens in cinema, in music, in every part of culture.
Maud, thank you very much for
Thanks a
sharing
lot.
your insights, your story, your music and sounds here with us on Encore. We wish you all the best. We're going to leave you with a new clip from Church's upcoming album, Love is Dead. Everyone, check out Maud's album, Polaar, and the documentary film out now, Southern Belle. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. Stay with us. There's more news coming up here on France 24. This is Miracle.
We're looking for